Buongiorno.
Today we're going to make a Petfuiata, but traditionally it's called
Pitta Impigliata.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.
This is Maria,
Hi.
Loretta Basta, Alcanetto, Giuseppe, Domenico. So we're going to start out by showing you how to make the honey dough to make the Petfuiata.
So the ingredients for the Petfuiata, we start with about 7 pounds of flour. And then to the flour, we add 1 packet of yeast in warm water with sugar to get the yeast to work. And then we will add into this large pot of the hot water, we have the oil, and then we put in 3 wooden spoons of the Crisco shortening, and then we let this all melt up. We put the honey, which is going to go on top of all of the Petfuiatas as they come out of the oven. We need to put it in warm water so that it will easily pour, and the cap off or it'll get too hot and then we'll have another issue.
Another sign if you're Italian, you have the recipes in the same pot. But getting it written down was a big feat, so we could all replicate this. So enjoy.
2 cups of honey will go in here as well. See how thick the honey is, so you want to warm it up where you can. And these ingredients, once they've been warmed up and are blended, I stir it quite a bit here in a little bit. This will then go in the flour to make the dough. So we have honey in the dough and honey on top of the Petfuiatas when they come out. After stirring everything and it is all dissolved, then you have to let it cool down because otherwise you'll scald your hands. So this has to cool. Then it's added into the flour mix in order to make the dough.
I just wanted to say that Joe learned to make the Petfuiata from my mother, who learned it from her mother-in-law. And my father was born in Calabria, and this is the traditional pastry of Calabria. And so that's what I wanted to let you know, that that's where it originated from.
So we're going to add, and we'll have the portions in the recipe, but we're going to add to the flour salt, cinnamon, ground cloves, and 3 eggs. You can see the yeast is bubbling in the warm water with sugar. The sugar helps the yeast to start. We're going to add this all at one time into the dough, and then we'll add flour as needed so that we have a soft, not sticky, just a soft, tender dough. Oil on the plate is for your hands so that you don't have the dough sticking to your hand while you're trying to add water or other ingredients. So those are the 3 eggs, cinnamon, and then 1 ground clove. Okay, now we're adding the ingredients. It's cooled somewhat. You have to be careful at this point because
Well, that's filled with the brown,
honey and oil. So I just use this guy to mix.
Until it starts cooling off?
Yeah.
Got it.
So after stirring in the ingredients from the large pot, which is the honey, the oil, the water, I then add the 1 packet of yeast, and now we work in the dough. And so that it's not stiff, it needs to be very pliable and soft, but not sticky. So that's the texture that we're working towards, okay? And then we've added a little salt, cinnamon, and ground cloves. Just a little bit, like a teaspoon each. And you see the dough is sticky. The pizza dough will have to rise for 3-4 hours. This dough is 1 packet of yeast. So this is going to be ready in an hour.
Okay.
Or as soon as you would like it to be. One more. Good. Okay.
Having gigantic hands help, huh?
And if you like, if you would rather do this all on the board, you can. I just like the fact that it's contained in a bowl. So if anything slips or spills, it's going in the pot. Easy cleanup, and all you have to do is either add more flour or more fluid to get to this point. You can see already the dough is soft, which is great. So we just keep working it. So you can see how pliable it is, but it's not sticky. Just very pliable. So we roll it out very thin. We put it into pie pans or deep dish pans. And then we'll put all of the mixed ingredients, and we'll see that in a little bit. So our dough has risen. We use pie pan as our mold. We put inside the pie pans Crisco shortening so that the crust will release, because it's going to be very hot and full of honey. So the Crisco will release the crust around the Petfuiata. So now what we do is we roll out, I just do 5 at a time, these shells, and then we make one large shell with filling, and we'll see that in just a minute.
And you wanted extra hanging over the edge, right, Dad?
Correct.
Why is that?
Because we're going to trim it.
Okay, now this is for the filling. So we're gonna roll this out and start doing the filling, and the ovens are preheating at what temp?
350.
350, all right. And how big do we want this? Pretty big, right?
Real big.
As big as you can make it.
And thickness?
Thin. You
Okay.
make a large jelly.
I'm sure we're good.
Nice. No, that's good. Let me just
Get your feel on it.
yeah. This is terrific, Dominic.
Whoa.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Come on.
Don't worry, he's a professional.
We're going to put vegetable oil on. That's a little bit more just around the edges, I think. And then we'll do the finger painting to get the honey all around it. Okay, now we're going to do the, look out, Vinny. Now it's going to be a little cinnamon and sugar. Just a little sugar.
It's a little bit.
It's perfect for if you have diabetes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
Which he does.
Yep.
But that's what the shots are for.
Thank you, HIPAA violation. Good Lord. What's that?
That's the filling.
Oh,
So what we chopped up was equal portions of raisin, walnuts, and almonds. And then we roll this big guy up, and then they call them rosettes. We put the rosettes into the shell. Okay, now that we have the raisin, almond, walnut mixture all spread out over the honey, cinnamon, cloves, and oil base, now we're going to roll it up into a giant roll, and we'll put the rosettes that we'll cut into the shell. And you want to just take your time with this so that you can have the roll as tight as possible. Otherwise it becomes very messy with all the filling wanting to spill out.
And about how many pie tins will one of these fill, Dad?
This one will probably make 3.5.
Okay.
But you're so strong, you were able to get this much bigger than I could roll it out.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you very much, Dad, for the compliment.
Gratitude is gratitude.
Oh, absolutely every day. You said the bread knife makes it easier.
It makes it easier. The others don't cut through all of the filling as well as this little guy. And it's soft inside the shell, so you can shape it, either push it down and move everything to fill in a small opening, or move it back to make a hole. As we put the orange rinds in the filling. And that's a fig and walnut that we grind. Again, strong Arabic influence because of all the seasonings, the figs, trimming.
And then how long does this cook for in the oven?
This is about half an hour. Half an hour, 40 minutes at 350.
Dad, do you put anything on the plate before you put that on there?
Yes, we put butter on the plate so that the crust will release. And then we put a little honey.
Just a little. We only bake and drink wine from our favorite winery, which is Solozano Vineyards, and you can find them on Instagram. Amazing wine.